Hi, in this video we're going to show you a free tool you could use to see what kind of files are taking up the most space on your computer. Now when I say free, they have a free version. They also have some other versions. So if you go to their website, it's called DiskSavvy. So there's the free one here, 32-bit and 64-bit. You're probably going to be doing 64-bit unless you're running a super old version of Windows. And then they have the Pro, Ultimate Server, and Enterprise. So this one is free, and the other ones cost money. And as you use the free version, there'll be some features in there that will tell you that you need to upgrade if you want to use them. So you'll see that. All right, so they also have another tool that we have tested out that will actually monitor your folders for you, and then when something changes, you can kind of see it in real time. So if you want to check that out, you could do so. All right, so I have it installed already, so I'm going to run it. All right, so you can pick your directory here. If you double click it, you could actually browse to a specific folder, but we're going to do the whole C drive for this example. So once you're ready to go, you just click on Analyze. There's some options here too. You want to set some of those before you run it. Exclusions and actions and that type of thing. All right, so we'll click on Analyze. And you could also add some other inputs here. And you can edit this if you want to change it and then remove it. All right, so we'll click on Analyze. So depending on how large your drive is and how many files and folders you have, will determine how long it takes, but it's usually not too bad. This is just a test computer, so there's not a ton of stuff on it. So let's let this finish real quick here, and you can see it in real time as it's analyzing. All right, so it's done and it saved the report. So you can see here, Windows is the largest directory, which is probably expected here. 48% of the C drive. Shows you how many folders, files, and space it's being used. And then we have users coming in second. And then you could drill into them if you want to kind of fine tune it. And then down here we have some file categories. So right now it's set to categories by extension. So DLL files, there are 37,000 of them taking up 19 megabytes and so on. 3 ISO files, EXE files, and so on. And then you could also come here and change it to one of these other things, categorized by file size. So it tells you how many of each type of file there is. Creation time, and so I'm not going to go through all these obviously, but we'll just get an idea of what you have here. File attributes, custom rules, username. Alright, so you can see trusted installer has the most, and then Todd is coming in second, and so on. Alright, so that's categories, and then over here we have the process status, how many directories were processed, and files, and space, how long it took, excluded directories, excluded files, and so on. No errors. Alright, so let's kind of drill into the users folder here, and then we'll check out some of these other options. So we can see that Todd has the most space used here. 99% of the users folder. So if we go into his folder here, we can see the app data folder has 10 gigs, so his documents has 5 gigs. So if we go into there, we can see there's an ISO file taking up the most space. And then if we come back here and go back to categories by extension, then we can get a better idea of what types of files are taking up the space there, or how many, and their size. So PDF files coming in second, 13 of them with 47 megabytes. Word documents with 22 and 18 megabytes, and so on. Alright, so if we click on Wizard here, we can run some specific wizards such as analyze files created today, modify today, access today, analyze files with long file names, look for specific files, images, graphics, and so on. If we click on computer here, we can see the kind of status of our whole computer. So the C drive, the D drive, which is a CD-ROM drive, and the E drive, how much space is taking. And you could choose one and click on Analyze if you want to analyze that specific drive. Then, of course, you can analyze the network too if you have a network connection, shared folders, that type of thing. Go up a level, So slides is kind of cool. So there's a whole bunch of different charts you could display here, and they're all checked by default, except for this one here. So you can choose the ones you want, but if you click on Show, it'll just kind of make a quick report here. This will take a minute. Right now we can toggle through them. So disk space usage per file extension. DLLs, like we saw, have the most. ISO files, second largest disk usage. EXE files, and so on. Number of files per extension. Disk space usage per file type. That's kind of nice. Number of files per file type. Attributes. Attributes, disk space usage per file size. Number of files per file size. Creation time. Modification time. Access time. So you get the idea there. There's a lot of reports you could check out, or that's actually under slides. Then you have your classify section here. Not sure if you'd really get too much use out of this. These are just plugins. So if you click on it, it'll kind of give you an idea of how that works there. All right, then if you want to do a search in the files, you could do that. It's kind of nice. If you want to save your report in a different format here, HTML, PDF, Excel, and so on. Let's see what a PDF file looks like. You have your summary type. Let's go all the way detailed. We have some advanced options here. All right, let's pick where we're going to save it. Save it on the desktop here. All right, let's check that out real quick. I got some pretty good detailed information there for sure. That might come in handy. All right, then we have our charts here. So this is kind of similar to the slides. So if we want to see the disk space per extension, we could do that. Then we could save it, print it, copy it, and so on. Change some of the settings here, change the type. If you want to see a bar chart, you could do that. So, all right, then we have our top files here. Few top directories sorted by their use space. Let's try that out. So you could view the top 100 up to top 1000. So this is not really going to show you the files, it's just the directories that contain the most space here. So we have this confidential files. So these are all in the users folder here because that's where we are right now. But if you were scanning your entire C drive, you wouldn't just see all user folders there. Top documents sorted by file size. You can change this setting too. Export, copy, and so on. All right, so when you get to reports, here's where you're going to run into some problems on the free version. So if we want to export this report, for example, you need to have the Pro version for that. Same if you try and analyze it. All right, then at the top here, we have some options to load a report. If you want to do that, open a report database, backup and restore your configuration. And then we have some commands here, similar to what you'll see on the toolbar here. You want to open something in Explorer, copy, move, compress, delete, and so on. You could switch the layout if you want a smaller layout. So every time you click on it, it'll change it a little more compact. And then it'll eventually go back to the default. Settings for network drives, messages, notification sounds, manage your plugins. Then you have some options here. So there are quite a bit of options you could configure to kind of tweak how it works. even some nice shortcuts, proxy settings, and so on. Then you have your help menu. All right, so as you can see, it's a pretty powerful tool, even the free version. So if you're running out of disk space and you'd like to find out what's going on, it's a nice tool to use. All right, so I'll put a link in the description where you can download DiskSavvy and you can try it out for yourself. All right, thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe.